The US-Mexico relationship is one of the close and complex interdependence in key areas such as migration, culture, and trade. This bilateral relationship, marked by an intertwined history and a shared border, faces challenges and offers opportunities in today's global context.
International migration is part of the globalization process and is closely related to trade and capital flows, as well as to the transmission of knowledge. A growing number of individuals and families move in search of better living conditions due to the enormous gaps between the North and the South, the economic, social, demographic, and ecological pressures in the countries of origin.
Mexico is a destination and transit country for international migration, but above all, is a land of origin for millions of migrants to the United States. Every year, hundreds of thousands of Mexicans enter the United States, seeking for establishment their residence in that country, attracted by the American dream.
One of the perceptions increasingly held by Mexican society is that immigration to the United States is a very effective means of improving the socioeconomic condition of their families.
Remittances are essential for hundreds of thousands of families in Mexico. It is known that these resources are mainly used to meet families' immediate consumption needs, including housing.
Mexican authorities are making efforts to disrupt criminal organizations dedicated to profiting from the trafficking of undocumented migrants and are actively collaborating in international initiatives to combat them.
Their search for solutions to the problems and faced challenges posed by the migration phenomenon requires close cooperation between Mexico and the United States.
There is a need to motivate permanent dialogue between the governments of both countries in order to articulate based on cooperation, respect of national sovereignty, options for actions, and comprehensive long-term solutions.
Mexico has achieved a substantial cultural penetration in U.S. society, especially in the states with the largest number of Mexican residents. The incessant migratory flow has favored the diffusion of our culture, along with the participation of the government.
The diffusion of Spanish literature, cinema, and the adoption of countless Spanish words in everyday English has strengthened the cultural relationship between the two countries, fostering an interest in learning about the origins and development of Mexican cultural expressions throughout the centuries.
The United States is now a bilingual country to a certain extent, because Mexican communities have not abandoned the use of their native language.
In the United States, at the end of the World War II, film and television enjoyed an unprecedented boom. American films were distributed throughout the world and used as propaganda tool to exalt the goodness of life in the United States, the recognition of the opportunities that the country offered to all those who strive for a better life, what we know as the American dream.
It is undeniable that the diffusion of American culture is not limited to cinematography. It also manifests itself in music, literature, and fashion.
The influence of US music started in 1920s. Thanks to the popularity of jazz, made Anglo-Saxon musical production prevail worldwide. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Ministry of Culture have developed very commendable work to our diplomatic and consular representations, as well as museums, universities, and cultural institutes located in several U.S. cities.
Both governments collaborate on the basis of shared responsibility and mutual respect and agree on the importance of fully utilizing the links between societies, the complementarity of economies, and the political coincidence between governments.
Mexico and the United States maintain economic and trade ties that have been strengthened with the signing of the North American Free Trade Agreement, together with Canada.
In addition to the trilateral mechanism established in the North American Free Trade Agreement in 2005, the leaders of the region created the North American Leaders Summit, which addresses a wide range of issues that affect the three countries.
Among the topics discussed by the leaders of the region are economic welfare and development integration, and cooperation for the security and prosperity of three countries.
While there are challenges and tensions, such as those related to undocumented immigration and border security, there is also growing cooperation and dialogue between the two governments to address these issues constructively.
Mexico's cultural influence in the United States is undeniable, especially in the states with a high population of Mexican origin, and bilateral trade remains a fundamental pillar of the economic relationship.
At the end of the day, the challenges in the US and Mexico don't exist in isolation. but acknowledging the problems is just the first step. Real change comes from understanding, dialogue, and action on both sides of the border. So the question is, what role do we play? How can we contribute to a better future? Not just for one country, but for both. It's just not about two nations, it's about people and it's about us.